Welcome to Antiques Academy, Tennessee, where learning history can be fun. Students learn history through the research of collectible and antique items.
This mystery is a small painting that I found about 6 years ago. I was attracted to it because it looks like Pointillism. Pointillism is an art style or technique developed in 1886 by George Seurat and Paul Signac. The term Pointillism was coined by the art critics in the late 1880s to ridicule the works of these artists, but today Pointillism is used without its earlier pejorative connotation. The Pointillism technique was influenced by Impressionism, and it's known as Neo-impressionism. The technique relies on the ability of the eye and the mind of the viewer to blend the color spots into a fuller range of tones. Note that this artist did not paint the sky, the mountain, and the road with the Pointillism technique. He or she left it rather blank. Also note the outlining. These might be clues to help identify who the artist might be, but then again, it's just a guess. It appears to be an oil painting on the back of another art print.
Note the print has "Made in USA." The McKinley Tariff Act of 1890 required that imports be labeled with country of origin, but didn't require the specific language "made in." We can suppose that items originating within the USA followed the same rule for consistency. In 1914, Congress passed a law requiring the phrase "made in." Therefore, we can suppose that this print was issued after 1914.
So I suppose we can eliminate any of the pointillist artists who passed away before 1914. Is this a lost and forgotten treasure? We've all heard stories about starving artists who didn't have the finances to buy materials, so they painted over old canvases or on the back of other artwork or anything they could get their hands on. Or it could be just a simple story of an artist who was in the mood to paint, had no clean canvases, and decided to paint on the back of an old print. This is a talented artist, in my opinion, and it looks to date to the era when Pointillism was a fad, a movement. It looks to be old and dates to the early part of the 20th century. I think I see what might be old varnish or tobacco stain or handling dirt. Who knows what life this painting has taken. I don't see a signature or any other kind of identification. If you look closely at the painting, you can see the reflection in the window of a building across the street from the view of the house. I don't know where this is. It looks to be in the Alps or Tyrol, Bavaria. Now, since we're speculating, we have to admit that this could be a talented amateur artist, and this could be a totally fictional scene. It might be multimedia, and the colors being used are not the traditional colors that you see in most Pointillism paintings done by the early Pointillism artist. I've included examples of 7 Pointillist artists. Their work is above. Note their style, the method that they apply the dots, and note that Signac outlines his art. Look at the technique of the Pointillist artist and the technique in this unknown art, do you agree that it's pointillism or mixed technique of some kind, but definitely some pointillism? The frame appears to be a gesso-covered wood frame to the period, early 20th century. It is dirty, it is scratched, one of the corners is chipped. The artwork is dirty, it needs to be conserved and cleaned, and maybe someone can identify who this artist might be. But definitely it is old, and I think it's a nice piece of art that should be conserved and perhaps reframed.
Please subscribe and let me know your comments in the space below. This is a learning experience, and I look forward to your input or questions. Please contact us if you have an heirloom you need help investigating. As an antiques detective, treasure hunter, and collector, we can't keep everything. See the link below and follow us on eBay. Our web store is antiquesacademytn.com.